experience. I think I just heard something. Hold on. The meeting, I'm getting a message.
It said it's being recorded.
Okay, let me start over. So, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the premiere of The Experience, a virtual event culminating from the chapter's first Support Our Youth campaign. I am Claudia Postel, and I am a member of the Annapolis Alumnae chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and I'm also the co-chair of the Fall Activity Committee. So, just a little bit of background about this event. Each year, our chapter hosts two main events, the fall activity and the spring activity. Both of these events play a crucial role in raising funds that provide programs and scholarships for minority youth in Annapolis and surrounding communities. So when COVID-19 hit, we were unable to host our annual live events. So what did we do? Well, first the fall and spring activity committees, along with the scholarship committee, joined forces and devised our very first Support Our Youth campaign as a means to raise funds in a virtual environment. We're pleased to say that because of the support of many in attendance today, the Annapolis Alumni chapter will continue its legacy of providing programs and scholarships to minority youth in the communities in spite of the pandemic. Second, we devised a virtual platform to highlight our chapter, our donors, our scholars, and the first recipients of the Legacy of Leadership Award, which pays homage to the contributions of African American men in the communities that we serve, thus the experience. We're extremely excited about this opportunity to share with you today. But before we do, we will have remarks from our esteemed chapter president, Nas I. Afi, who is in her third year of serving as our fearless leader. Under her leadership, our chapter continues to grow in our efforts in the community as well as through our bonds as a sisterhood. Throughout this process, she has been supportive while giving us the space to develop this event in which we are most grateful. So I present to you President Afi.
Thank you so much, Claudia, for that introduction. And it is my honor to pay acknowledgement and recognize and introduce to you the 16th president of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Dr. Thelma T. Daly. Dr. Daly, would you wish to say a few words?
I just want to say congratulations to you for your leadership and to the immediate past president for chairing this and for all of the people who are involved and all of the recipients and all of the honorees. That's all. I just want you to continue to go forth. That is my message.
Thank you, Dr. Daly. We're so happy that you're here with us. We're honored. And secondly, I am honored and very pleased to introduce and recognize our Eastern Region Director, Rosie Allen Herring. And we're so happy that she has a moment today to be with us. Sor Herring, would you like to have some words?
Thank you so much, and good afternoon to the sorors of Annapolis Alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta, and of course, congratulations to all who have worked to bring together the experience. I certainly honor our 16th national president. Of course, Annapolis is near and dear to her heart, and she lets us know every single day, and so I honor her, Dr. Daly. I also honor your president, Sor Afi, who has been working extremely hard and diligent and brings thought leadership to every circle she encounters. And she also happens to be working on the regional level as well as a part of the Arts and Letters Committee. I too, on behalf of Sor Nadej Dubros, our Eastern Regional Representative, who would be with us today, but she's, believe it or not, at her chapter conducting a rush as they get ready and prepare for membership intake. So she sends her regards, as well as Sor Carol Moses, our state coordinator for the state of Maryland, who is right near us in Prince George's County. And so sorors of the committee who have done great work, I thank you. And it's a beautiful day outside with the snow, but the snow didn't stop this. And so because of the virtual world that we find ourselves in, the work of Delta continues. And so I do want to just briefly acknowledge those members of your chapter who are doing great work, certainly on the national level in various national and executive boards and committees, including SOAR Angela Yule Madison. Also on the regional level, SOAR Joanne Scipio, who's working on the Eastern Region Reactivation Team, SOAR Tamla Bias on the Eastern Region PPD Committee, SOAR Shirley Perry, who's a part of our Eastern Region Delta Deer Committee, and of course, again, your own president, SOAR Nas Afi, who works on the Eastern Region Arts and Letters Committee. SOARs, thank you for your work and for your significant legacy as you enter your 74th year of serving this community. I stand with you, I honor you, and it is indeed a pleasure to be with you today. Here's to the next 108 years that we find ourselves on this Delta journey. Thank you so much, SOAR President, and thank you again to the chapter.
Thank you. And on behalf of the chapter, again, welcome to our 16th National President and our Eastern Region Director. We're happy that you're with us, and we will invite you and keep on inviting you again and again and again. I want to say that, again, I'm Nas Afi, and I offer a heartfelt welcome to the premiere of The Experience, produced by the Annapolis Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. As an organization, the chapter has had to change the way that we function on every level during this COVID-19 pandemic. In many instances, we are walking through uncharted waters. So when the committees approached me with this concept of banding together and collaborating on this event, I was excited about the endeavor, as well as about the collaborations that were involved in this effort, which included multiple committees within our chapter. It makes me very proud that in spite of these difficult and challenging times, the Annapolis Alumni Chapter is still finding a way to continue its more than 73-year legacy of providing services to communities in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County surrounding areas. We are proud of the work that we do in the community, as well as the many partnerships we have with community organizations and elected officials that we have developed over the years. We pledge and commit to serve our community and to continue with some of our youth initiatives, our STEM program, and our scholarship program. And we are equally as proud of the opportunity to honor our amazing scholars who are making their way as young adults on their path to attending college in a very different environment. This is the very first year of our Legacy of Leadership Awards as well, honoring the recipients who are charting their own courses as leaders in our community. We want to highlight and lift up our African-American men who are making a great difference in the community, who are bringing us to change and transformation. Each of these honorees serves as a beacon of light during a time in which we are being challenged on a daily basis. And they provide a lot of inspiration for us to keep going to work for our community. Again, I welcome you, and I'm so honored and pleased that you chose to spend your time with us this afternoon of recognition and celebration. Thank you. Now enjoy the premiere.
Madam President, I believe the Maryland State Coordinator has joined us.
Oh, wonderful. I would like to recognize and introduce to you our Maryland State Coordinator, Carol Moses. So, Moses, would you like to say a few words? Thank you.
Yes, I'd just like to say congratulations to the Annapolis Alumni Chapter for your 74 years of service in not only Anne Arundel County, but the state of Maryland. And we just welcome and we congratulate you on all of your accomplishments.
Thank you so much. And again, we're happy that you were able to spend this time with us today.
Thank you.
Now I'll turn it back to our committees and start the program.
Well, thank you, Madam President. And now we present The Experience. Part 1 highlights the chapter, donors, and the scholars. Part 2 introduces the Legacy of Leadership Award recipients. Enjoy.
Greetings
and welcome on behalf of the Annapolis Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. I bid you welcome to the joint fall and spring activity. Now, the activity is a result of not being able to be in person, and we want to thank you all who have supported us in the past with all of our fall dance, our spring scholarship teas. We thank you. But for the safety and health of everyone in our community, this is our very first virtual event. And our event this year is going to cover honoring our scholarship awardees from last spring. We are also going to honor, for the very first time, because we have established a new award, the Legacy Leadership Award, for all those activists, for all those folks in our community who want a better life for all of us in the community, and they work toward that end. And as well, to thank all of you for the generous donations you have given to this cause, to fundraise money so that we could have the programming for our youth that they deserve, that we can support them as they need us to support and assist them, so that we can provide for them activities, scholarships, and so on. I thank you again on behalf of each and every member of the Annapolis Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. I am Nas Nshira Athi, president of my beloved chapter. Welcome, and thank you for joining us in this virtual event. Be blessed.
The Annapolis Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated presents The Experience, an event culminating from the chapter's first virtual Support Our Youth campaign. In The Experience, we highlight in 4 different rooms: the chapter, our scholars, our Legacy of Leadership Award recipients, and last but certainly not least, you, our donors for the Support Our Youth campaign. Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated was founded on January 13, 1913 by 22 collegiate women at Howard University. Since its founding, more than 300,000 women have joined the organization, which is a sisterhood of predominantly Black college-educated women. The organization's purpose is to provide assistance and support through established programs in local communities throughout the world. The Annapolis Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated was chartered on December 9, 1947. For more than 73 years, members of the Annapolis Alumni Chapter have walked in the footsteps of the chapter's founders to implement programs in Annapolis and surrounding communities that align with the national organization's 5-point programmatic thrust: educational development, economic development, international awareness and involvement, physical and mental health, and political awareness and involvement. Under educational development, the chapter's programs focus on youth development and growth. In addition to our outstanding minority scholarship program, which we will highlight in our scholarship room, the chapter's Thelma T. Daly STEM initiative creates an environment that promotes and encourages an interest in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics to shape potential science careers in elementary and middle school students in Anne Arundel County. Since its inception in 2015, the chapter has provided free STEM activities to more than 400 youth in Anne Arundel County. The chapter's Empowering Males to Build Opportunities for Developing Independence, or the Embody program, focuses support and planned action for the growth of African American males to reach their full potential educationally, socially, and emotionally. This program is designed to develop our future leaders by providing the tools, resources, and support they need to be successful and productive young men. Participants in the chapter's youth programs also play an integral role in the Delta Red Carpet events, which are often followed by a dialogue with the youth regarding their perception of the event and/or movie. And finally, in keeping with supporting our youth, the chapter participates with other members of the Divine Nine to offer moral support as they begin a new school year, as well as provide backpacks and school supplies, even during COVID-19. Under economic development, the chapter works to educate its members and the community on practices for maintaining financially healthy lives. At the 50th Eastern Regional Conference, the chapter was recognized for its financial planning and debt reduction program. Under international awareness and involvement, the chapter partners with the Anne Arundel Commission on HIV and AIDS for the annual World AIDS Day program, which is a primary focus under this thrust. Under physical and mental health, the chapter has carried this theme through its local community programs highlighting mental illness, as well as providing awareness of issues impacting the local community. And under political awareness and involvement, the chapter continues to provide voter registration and voter engagement in local communities. It also continues its deep involvement in monitoring and supporting legislative bills locally and nationally through its participation in Delta Days in Annapolis and Delta Days in the nation's capital to improve the lives of residents as related to housing, health, education, and economic conditions. The Annapolis Alumnae chapter continues to serve in the forefront of sponsoring services to local communities in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County through its partnerships with organizations such as the Annapolis and Anne Arundel County Police and Fire Departments, Maryland State Task Force, local medical and social work professionals, and churches. The chapter will continue its 73-year legacy of providing services to communities in Annapolis and surrounding areas.
We made a request and you answered our call. Through your generous contributions to the Support Our Youth campaign, the Annapolis Alumnae chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated will continue its legacy of providing programs and scholarships to minority youth even during a pandemic. We thank you and pay homage to all of our donors. If you'd like to donate, there is still time. Our PayPal link is https://paypal.me/AACDST. Thank you again for your support.
Welcome to the Scholars Room.
Annapolis Alumni Chapter, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Outstanding Minority Scholarship Awards. The Annapolis Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Scholarship Committee would like to extend congratulations to the 6 outstanding minority scholars who are the recipients of this year's 2020 award. The theme, Developing Educational Leaders Through Achievement, is an indication of the successful high school students that were selected. Through the years, our scholars have attended colleges such as Azusa Pacific University, Penn State University, University Park, Towson University, United States Naval Academy, University of Maryland College Park, and University of Pennsylvania, and many others. Lauren graduated from Suburban Park High School and is now attending college studying mechanical engineering. Rita graduated from Annapolis Senior High School and is now attending college studying public policy. Rita's career goal is to become an education policy specialist to advocate for equitable education by working for a nonprofit organization. Mayeen graduated from Arundel High School and is now attending college studying business. Daniel graduated from Annapolis High School and is now attending college studying biophysics with a minor in computer science. Daniel plans to attend medical school to become a neurologist. And Daya graduated from Old Mill High School and is now attending college studying biological sciences. And Daya's career goal is to become a veterinary surgeon. Asia graduated from Annapolis Senior High School and is now attending college. Asia's interests are theater, acting, and broadcast journalism. She is the founder of I Rock Girls Conference, which is a wellness conference for middle school girls.
"2020, what a year, what a year." The COVID-19 pandemic, the killings of African Americans, the Black Lives Matter protest, the challenges associated with the U.S. presidential election, and so much more. But there is a silver lining amidst the darkness. That silver lining is that through it all, there are those individuals who continue to serve our communities. During these challenging times, it is very important that we remain hopeful and encouraged. And what better way to do that than to uplift and celebrate the selfless community heroes that continue to put the needs of others ahead of their own. Therefore, the decision was made by the Annapolis Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated to honor African American males providing a significant impact on the youth and communities of Anne Arundel County by awarding them with the 2020 Legacy of Leadership Award. So you might ask, why African American males? Why the title Legacy of Leadership? Here's why. In a society where an African American man is deemed a threat merely because of the color of his skin, it is important to remind them that their lives matter, that the good they do matters, that the difference they make matters, and that their legacy matters. A legacy is defined as a gift or a bequest that is handed down, endowed, or conveyed from one person to another. But a legacy is more than that. A legacy is sharing resources, knowledge, and experience with others, which is far more valuable than personal possessions. One's legacy is the dash between the beginning of life and the end of life. It's what is done during one's lifetime, thereby positively impacting the lives of others, giving back, leaving a roadmap to success. That dash is powerful And these men are powerful, powerful leaders. Leadership is the ability to lead, influence, or guide others. These men are leaders, hence the title, Legacy of Leadership Award. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join the Annapolis Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated in celebrating the 2020 Legacy of Leadership Award recipients.
Mr. Adetola J. currently works for the City of Annapolis Mayor's Office of Community Engagement with a focus on developing outreach programs to support youth and families in underserved communities. Some of the programs he is involved with include Uplift Annapolis, Naptown Anti-Dope Movement, and a Jones Summer Camp, to name a few. He is also an advocate for economic equity and socially conscious development.
How y'all doing today? My name is Adetola J. And I'd like to thank the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated of Annapolis for choosing me to be one of the 2020 Legacy of Leadership Award recipients. I'm very humbled and thank you all for choosing me. I was born in downtown Annapolis at the old hospital and have lived in Annapolis most of my life. I graduated from Broadneck High School and I graduated from Morgan State University, where I received my bachelor's in economics. I've worked in banking and retail for several years, and I've also started my own companies and have tried to always be a part of the Annapolis community in a positive way. I thank my parents for always having me involved in different civic organizations, and my grandmother, who is a bishop, for allowing me to experience working in the nonprofit world from a young age. And through her work, I was able to learn about community and how to work with people in a positive way, even through stressful times or tough situations. I currently work for the City of Annapolis as the African American Community Service Specialist for the Mayor's Office. Through this work, I've developed programs such as the Naptown Anti-Dope Movement, a overdose prevention program, No Harm, a violence intervention program, Startup Annapolis, which is a workforce development program that focuses on using technology and alternative training methods, and Take Care Annapolis, which I co-coordinate with Laura Gutierrez, and that is a health education outreach program. I also helped start a community incubator at Staten Center called the Fish Tank. And all these programs and initiatives wouldn't be possible without all the community partners that I work with. And I thank all of them for working with me and the city to help create programs to help people in need and to deliver services to people that are looking for resources and different services to better their quality of life. So again, I thank all of you, and please continue to support our city as we focus on working towards one Annapolis.
Mr. Commissar Brown, aka Cell Spitfire, is a multidisciplinary artist from Annapolis, Maryland, specializing in painting, graphic design, entrepreneurial skills, and local outreach through art. He is actively engaged with various youth programs, including the recent mural projects in collaboration with Future History Now. He is also a teaching artist with Future History Now and one of the directors at Black Excel.
Hi, my name is Commissar Brown. I'm a graphic designer, artist, and owner of Self Spitfire Paintings and Designs. I'm an Annapolis resident here in the Greenbrier community, which is located in Ward 3. I've learned some of my early art teachings from my mom, and also attending the Salvation Army after school program, and then graduating with an art degree from the Art Institute of Atlanta. Since moving back home, I've made it my mission to find success right here in my backyard, to inspire the next generation that anything is possible with art, focus, and determination. Over the last year or so, I've partnered with several nonprofits and community action groups to find common goals to shape our youth with workshops, programs, and creative projects to stimulate their minds. A few partners I would like to mention and recognize are D. Ward of Black Excel and Harold Mo Lloyd of Superior Future for the work we've done over the summer with the Newtown Community Development Corporation, helping kids stay smart, safe, and active during this pandemic. And also Jeff Huntington of Future History Now with the great art projects we've done around Annapolis. My main focus has always been to share my life experiences and business knowledge with the youth, and just being that role model that I wish I had growing up. So with that, I would like to thank the Annapolis Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated for their 2020 Legacy of Leadership Award. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Alderman Dewan Gay won a write-in campaign at age 22 to become the youngest city council member in the history of the city of Annapolis. His experience as a member of the Boys and Girls Club and later as a junior staff counselor instilled in him the need to contribute to his community. He focused on residents who had a need, especially those whose lives were as similarly challenged as his had been. In 2017, he raised $15,000 to install air conditioning units in 83 homes in Eastport Terrace. Mr. Alan Griffin is the president of B&A Brothers Scholarship Fund, a charitable nonprofit that supplies book scholarships to eligible Black male students entering undergraduate studies. He is also a member of Annapolis Alumni Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, where he leads the Kappa League Mentoring Program, coordination of the annual Mother's Day Brunch at Bowman House, tutoring at the Boys and Girls Club, and the annual Fall Festival and Ice Cream Social for 150 families in Annapolis Public Housing.
Good day, everyone, and to the lovely ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated, Annapolis Alumni Chapter. I am Brother Alan Griffin, a native of Baltimore, Maryland, and I currently reside in the Glen Burnie area for the last 32 years. I am humbled and honored to receive your 2020 Legacy of Leadership Award. I will say also that I've worked with your members in the community over the last 10 years, and I have firsthand knowledge of your commitment to see the residents of this area to lead a better lives. With that being said, I am the founder of B&A Brothers Scholarship Fund. We provide financial support for young men of color to pursue higher education. In addition to the B&A Brothers Scholarship Fund, I am also the owner-operator of B&A Brothers Driving Academy, located in the heart of Glen Burnie. With that being said, both entities are responsible for what we call Project Give Back. Project Give Back is a service of B&A Brothers that provides numerous events in partnership, including the present-day COVID-19, providing lunches and dinners to the staff at Baltimore Washington Hospital and to Johns Hopkins Hospital located in Glen Burnie. We also provide backpack programs. We partner with Hands of Hope and their Health Expo, Sigma Gamma Rho Youth Symposium. I am a proud initiative of 2009 of the Annapolis chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi, and I'm also the director of the Kappa League program, which is our mentoring program, our national mentoring program. Finally, I would like to believe that I am driven by this quote that says, "Service is the rent we pay. It is the very purpose of life, not something you do in your spare time." Peace and blessings, and God bless.
Linwood David Jackson Jr. was taught by his parents the importance of helping the less fortunate. He volunteers regularly at Asbury Town Neck Church in the food ministry, feeds the homeless families who live at BWI Airport, and as a member of the Move Road chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, he prepares and delivers holiday baskets, distributes school supplies, and supports community cleanup events.
Hi, my name is Dave Jackson. I currently reside in Serrano Park, Maryland. I was born and raised in Baltimore City. Immediately after high school, I joined the United States Army and spent 18 years of my life in several conflicts, traveling around the world, helping out the less fortunate. I wanted to bring that same tenacity and energy back to my own community to help out the less fortunate. We've had a program at BWI where we made sandwiches and helped out at least 100 people on Tuesdays and Thursdays every month. I've also helped out and been a part of the program at Asbury Town Nick United Methodist Church in Serrano Park, where we've had a food program and food giveaway where we've helped out at least 1,000 to 1,500 people every month. I'm also a member of a Mega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated in Annapolis, and we've also participated in holiday food giveaways. At this point in time, I would like to thank Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated for this award. Thank you.
Harold Lloyd III is a 2020 graduate of Frostburg State University with a major in Law and Society and Political Science with a minor in Sociology. He is a prominent local activist in Annapolis and founder of Superior Future Incorporated, a nonprofit organization that focuses on creating educational and recreational programs in Annapolis. He also hosts a very successful toy drive each Christmas with a focus on collecting books, toys, and bikes. William F. Rao is a senior advisor to the mayor in the city of Annapolis with a focus on high-level policy and community engagement. His unwavering commitment to fostering inclusive governance and social/institutional justice is evidenced by his policy work with Caucus of African American Leaders, NAACP, Future History Now, Nicole, Maryland Commission on African American History and Culture, John Hopkins Center for Gun Policy and Research, and countless other organizations. He is also a youth mentor for an Annapolis nonprofit organization.
Hello, my name is William Rowell, and I'd like to begin first by thanking Delta Sigma Theta for their efforts at recognizing those who are working in communities in the city of Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, Maryland, by proxy the entire nation. I hail from the Mulberry Hill neighborhood in Annapolis, where my family has lived for a very long time. It's historically African American community, and my day job is in politics. I work in the mayor's office of the city of Annapolis as senior advisor to the mayor, and a lot of my work in the community has been focused on elevating voices and empowering those voices who for decades, one could actually say probably since the history of colonial Annapolis, their voices have not been heard and they have not been elevated, and there hasn't been substantial investment in those communities. So a lot of my work is just being at the table, listening, hearing, and having the access to be able to elevate those concerns and voices. I'm most proud of the fact that, aside from the part that I play, is being able to acknowledge the backs that I've been able to stand on to do the work that we do and to actually be at the tables that we're at. And that includes my father, Randy Rowell, my mother, DeSheryl Rowell, my grandparents, my extended family, including Claudia Postel, who is a member of your esteemed society, as well as just brother, sister, cousins, my daughters, Sophia, Amelia, and Lila, have all contributed to the work that I do and the reasons why I do the work that I do. But I must also say that the most important piece is the values that propel me to do the work that I do. And that is that we have an obligation to our ancestors as descendants of enslaved people, but also descendants of very proud people who were not enslaved. And it is our duty, I believe, to work in our communities to kind of right some of the wrongs. And so all of us play a part in that community efforts, everything from literacy efforts involving education, health disparities, police reform, all things dealing with social justice, as well as really taking a really hard look at how economic viability and economic empowerment is extremely important for us as a community of people. Understanding that we're not monolithic nor homogeneous, but we are a people who share a history, and it is important that we continue to fight towards understanding our true power and our true footprint in places like the city of Annapolis. So I want to thank you all for your efforts at furthering that, but also in recognizing people that play a role in that. And again, I play a somewhat small, specialized role in that. But I will say that it is a role that was not invented yesterday or today or will not be invented tomorrow. It's actually a role that has been extremely important institutionally and otherwise in our communities. And some people have really put a lot of very hard work without the access to resources that a person like myself has. So that's what propels me, and I hope it propels others. So thank you.
Drake Smith was elected as the 2020-2021 Student Member of the Board of Education. Prior to being elected as Student Member of the Board, Drake was President of the Anne Arundel County NAACP Youth and College Division, where he dealt with community issues such as racism and inequities in the county. He also helped to successfully advocate for police body camera funding, as well as requirement of mandatory written apologies for students involved in bias-motivated behavior. Deontay Ward is the founder of Black, Becoming Leaders, Acquiring Critical Knowledge Excel. In 2019, he partnered with two nonprofits, the Newtown Community Development Corporation and Superior Futures, which spearheads a STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics program. During the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic, in partnership with other organizations, he has served food to over 3,000 individuals, provided over 1,000 art projects, 500 gardening kits, 250 volcano STEM kits, 100 carpentry kits, and offered online events about mental health and financial literacy, and started a tutoring program to support youth now learning in a virtual environment. Kyle Williams is the CEO of Tunnel Vision Sports Apparel brand. In 2020, he founded the Chase Your Dream initiative to help people in communities by influencing, inspiring, and innovating with the purpose of pursuing a dream. Chase Your Dreams initiative has hosted a back-to-school drive, provided food and other supplies for underserved communities, hosted a virtual unity walk that raised money for food distribution, provided turkeys and other Thanksgiving necessities to over 400 families.
Hello everyone, my name is Kyle Williams, and I am the CEO of Tunnel Vision, which is a for-profit sport apparel brand, and then I'm also the president of the Chase Your Dreams initiative, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. First and foremost, I want to take the time out to thank the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority for this gracious award. I appreciate you for nominating me, and I'm forever grateful for that. And let's get into what I do in the community. First and foremost, I am from Annapolis, Maryland originally. I grew up in the Glen Burnie area in Anne Arundel County, and I'm currently living in Severn, Maryland as well. Through our nonprofit organization, the Chase Your Dreams initiative, our mission is to inspire, influence, and to innovate with the purpose of chasing a dream. So what we do is we help provide resources and the skills to those out there, young and old, with the resources that they need to be able to get out there and chase your dreams. So what we do in the community is everything from scholarships to entrepreneurship programs, philanthropic efforts in terms of giving back, and a lot of different events. Right now, currently for the holidays, we're getting ready to feed about 500 families for Thanksgiving, giving out turkeys, other Thanksgiving supplies, and as well as this upcoming Christmas, we're going to do a huge bike drive for those unfortunate and in need of bikes this year for Christmas. Outside of that, we partner with a lot of other different organizations to help them excel in their efforts and supporting the community. And I just wanted to let you guys know that we're here, we're willing and able to work with everyone, and we're just trying to network and meet different people as well. So.
What an experience. We hope you were enlightened by those presentations today. I just want to give a special thanks to the technology team for assisting with this event. So good afternoon. My name is Linda Babb. I am a proud member of the Annapolis Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated and the co-chair of our Spring Activity Committee. There is more to come today as we move into the discussion section of the program. We'll have some time for questions for either the scholars or the legacy leadership awardees. But before we start, we'd like to acknowledge one of our outstanding scholars who is on the line with us today. Asia Washington will share a few words about her college experience later on in the program. Are there any other scholars on the call today? Please raise your hand. If you're on the line, we'd love to acknowledge you. Okay, I don't see any, but thank you. So secondly, I'd like to acknowledge several recipients, and it seems like Mr. Lloyd is on as well, several recipients of the Legacy of Leadership Award. So it seems we have all of our awardees on our Zoom call today. So congratulations and thank you all for joining. So Comicel Brown, Alan Griffin, Alderman Dewan Gay, Harold Lloyd, Will Rowell, Drake Smith, Kyle Williams, Deontay Ward, Adatola Ajay, and David Jackson are all with us today. So again, thank you for joining. So Asia, if you'll raise your hand, Asia Washington, we'd love to hear from you. We'll unmute your phone.
Hello. Hi, my name is Asia Washington. I'm so grateful to be on the line. Thank you so much for inviting me to this wonderful event. And I've been privileged to receive the Outstanding Minority Scholarship. I'm just so blessed. And I thank you, the Delta Sigma Theta chapter, Annapolis chapter, for awarding me with that wonderful blessing. I'm just, again, so grateful for that. And yeah, I am a college freshman in 2021 during these very interesting times. It has been a journey. I am just so grateful to be alive, first and foremost. That's something that I don't want to take for granted, especially in the turbulent times that we've all been living in. And I am just really glad that even in the midst of these challenges, I've been able to push through my first semester of college. And I actually was able to make it through. Thank you. I was able to make it through with all A's for my first semester. Glory to God. Thank you. And I attend Azusa Pacific University online. So I'm home with my family. And that whole experience has been, again, a journey. With being online, I would say it has taught me how to be more flexible. I definitely had to learn how to adjust and be willing to just throw myself into this new environment of virtual learning. And even just being like a senior from 2020 and having to adjust my second semester of senior year with that whole new season in my life, it was tough, but I'm just grateful for the support and family, friends, teachers, everybody who really helped me to get to where I am. So with my college experience as a whole, it's been really cool online. I've been able to build some cool friendships and be able to get involved in my classes and my different extracurricular activities like the Black Student Association Club that I'm grateful to be a part of as well, even with it being online. That was really amazing. And then I'm also an acting on stage and on screen major, so I'm pursuing my goals with that, and that has been really great. And then I was cast in 2 productions as well, virtually. So with theater, I know like on Broadway, theater actors, they've been having a hard time because theater itself, the whole industry has actually been struggling with coronavirus affecting it. But as a student learning and growing, I think it's been awesome because my school has adapted to doing more so online activities where we've been able to record different productions and more so change it into like short films. So I'm kind of experimenting how to do short film acting. So definitely flexibility is a big and constant area in my life that I have to keep growing in. So that is just sort of a recap of my freshman year online experience. And yeah, that is a little bit about me.
Well, we totally appreciate you, Asia. It seems like you are doing well and you're thriving in this unprecedented world today. So thank you so much for joining us. And it really seems like you're well on your way. We expect you to make an indelible mark in the world. So we love to hear back from you as you progress through your journey.
Yes, thank you. I look forward to staying in touch.
You're so welcome. Have a great day. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks. So does anyone have any questions for Asia about her experience? If not, we'll move on and talk a little bit to the legacy leaders and get some questions of ours answered. If you have any questions, please use your raise your hand feature and we'll call on you in turn. All right, I don't see any questions. So again, thank you so much, Asia. We appreciate you. Good luck.
Thank you.
So now for our legacy leaders, I am quite sure their videos piqued your interest as they did mine. Are there any questions for our awesome award recipients? They could be general in nature. They could be specific based on who's still on the call. So if you do have any questions, please raise your hand and use your raise your hand feature. We'll definitely call on you in turn. Okay, we have a couple of questions. Stephanie?
Hi there. First, I would like to commend all of the award recipients on a job well done. But I would like to ask, how can the community support you?
Anyone can answer. So if one of the award recipients would like to raise their hand, we can unmute you. So I think the question is, how can we as a community support your efforts within the Annapolis and Anne Arundel areas?
Hello, can you hear me?
We sure can, Drake. Thank you.
Well, hello, everyone. Once again, my name is Drake Smith. I'm the student member of the Anne Arundel County Board of Education, and I'm a senior at Bede High School. And I guess for me, it's just getting involved with local politics. I've found that through this experience, we've seen a very large number of more community engagement at the school level, because as I'm sure you are all aware, if you have grandkids or kids in the school system, we're making decisions that are impacting you on the daily basis, on the pretty much at every meeting. So I would just say, please make sure you get involved. But since you're already a part of the Annapolis Alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, you're already pretty involved. But please encourage all those in your households to get just as involved, because that's the way we can push change forward.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Any other questions? We have Betty on the line, Betty B's iPad.
Yes.
Can we unmute her for her question?
Good afternoon, everyone.
You can speak.
Good afternoon, everyone. This program has been awesome. I believe Alderman Dewan is on the line. Alderman, and if he is, he had mentioned in his, not his remarks because he did not make remarks, but there was a reference to him having been a member of the Boys and Girls Clubs. And I'd just like to know what influence that may have had on him in becoming involved in politics.
So oh, there he is.
No, that's not him.
Oh, that's not him, sorry. Is Alderman Dewan still on the line? I don't think he's on the line, but we can take your question and we can contact him and see if we can get an answer for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Linda, I think
Next week.
Commissar Brown had wanted to respond to that first question. His hand was up. Sonora, SMJOH. It was like 3 people.
Okay, yeah. Well, I got, okay. So Commissar, if you want to join in, please do.
Yeah, I was just gonna make a remark into the question about how we can be supported. So personally, I've been working with D Ward and Harold Lloyd with Superior Future, and I know that both of them have a lot going on with STEM kids and been very active in the community. And I know both of them are actively also taking donations, so you definitely can help out that way. And also with Kyle Williams and the Chase Your Dreams initiative, we've been plotting on something very big over this that's going to be coming up this summer. We haven't disclosed too many details, but if you can just follow us on social media at the Tunnel Vision, and also check out our websites. We're going to be also reaching out to all of our affiliates and partners for donations to help us be able to continue to serve the community and also to be able to help our event be a success this summer.
Okay, thank you so much for chiming in. I appreciate your diligence here while we're working through some of our technology issues.
I think Alan Griffith has unmuted.
Yes, I'm muted. Thank you, ladies of the Alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta. I'm Alan Griffin, and I'm part of the Annapolis Alumni chapter, Kappa Alpha Psi. And one of the things that we've tried to do with our young men, we have a national program called our Kappa Leaguers Guide Right program, is we have a career component of our program. And we would want, if you ladies are the contact person, to get in contact with me about careers that our young men can often go into, either the STEM area, political area. I'm looking at the many members that's on the line now, that we would have the career portion of that. That would be something that you may come into one of our sessions virtually, of course, and talk about your path of your success of gaining from high school. You know, most of the boys that we work with, reside in the Annapolis area, either in one of the housing communities down there, and we have shaping their minds, but it's also, you know, very important that they see someone that looks like them, and
That's
also
right.
that sees that someone that actually went to Annapolis High School, went to Broadneck High School, graduated from college, and then different career fields. So that would be my request, is that, you know, I'll leave my information to be some guest speaker, you know, for one of our sessions. We meet monthly on a Saturday. Again, it's virtually. You come into the Zoom room and just take 45 minutes and say, hey, look, I was sitting in the classroom thinking one day I would be a nurse, or one day I'll be a doctor or an attorney. And what was your driving factor that made you become that career and in that career opportunity? Thank you for this time.
Well, we thank you as well. And we definitely know that it starts early to help, especially young men, determine what they want to be when they grow up. So thank you so much for your time and your experience and sharing your talents with the community. So we have several other hands raised. Sonora, I think it's next.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone, and excellent work to all our recipients. This is to anyone who would like to respond. A legacy is something passed on from one generation to the next. What will be your legacy?
Harold Lloyd has his hand raised, but I don't know if it's for that question. And so does Tunnel Vision.
It can be for that question, because I mean, I thought that was a great question. You know, that's something that you know, used to question myself a lot, because as a young kid, I always wanted to go to the NBA, but my life went on a whole nother path, and I'm actually happy that it went on another path. And I think that if an individual, if a group gets too caught up in trying to, control their legacy and force create their legacy now, it will mess up their vision. It will mess up their progression. Because it isn't as genuine anymore. You're only focusing on yourself, and making yourself better, which is essential. But I believe that the ultimate goal is not only making yourself better, it's making everybody around you better. How many people did you really impact? When we look at Martin Luther King, when we look at Malcolm X, Huey P. Newton, Alice Walker, Angela Davis, when they were doing, their grassroots organization, when they were doing their work for the community, to organize the community, to mobilize the community, to strengthen and empower the community.
Is that the minister in your chapter?
It wasn't just for themselves. It was about the community as well, and how they were going to take the community to the next step. And now we look 60 years from those moments in the 1960s and the 1970s, and we look back and we see how impactful those individuals were. We see how strong, how intelligent, intellectual those individuals were, how ahead of their time they were. And their legacy is forever embedded in Black history. And if we go back 60 years and we were to talk to them, I truly don't believe that they were moving to make sure that their legacy was stamped. They were moving to make sure that their community was going to get strengthened. Their community was going to become empowered. Their community wasn't going to struggle anymore. Their community was going to eradicate any and every injustice that they face. And so, as far as me working on my legacy, I truly don't care too much about it, because my progress means nothing if my people don't progress with me.
Awesome answer. Okay.
Sorry, I was on mute, but well said, Harold. That was definitely an awesome answer. It's nice to see that humility as you're working to make your community a better place. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much for that response.
Linda, someone from Tunnel Vision, I believe that's one of the recipients.
Yes, I'm here. Hello,
Okay.
you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kyle Williams, and I just wanted to thank the Delta Sigma Theta sorority for this great honor, and thank God as well for everyone to be on this beautiful call this afternoon. I just wanted to step up and again, thank you for the award. And I wanted to share something for the scholarship award recipients. And it has to kind of fall in line with our legacy and what we want to leave behind. We're here to build future leaders in our Black communities.
Yes,
and I just want to say to them to continue to chase your dreams. That's what we're building on with our organization, is to teach young individuals that if you work hard and be consistent in what you do, your dream is very attainable, right? And that's what we're here and we're all about. So congratulations to those young men and women. And I'm so proud of all of the things that you guys are doing. And we're going to continue to support you guys. And then everybody else on this call, the way that you guys can support us is just by making yourself known. Let's network. Let's all share what we do and kind of come together because we can go somewhere by ourselves, but we can go far together. So I think it's important for us to continue to work together in our communities. Right now in this time during COVID, it's very important that we collaborate and do different things. So Carmicel kind of chimed in on the things that we're going to be doing further in the community, especially this summer. We're going to be doing some big things that we're hoping, that we know we're going to impact a lot of lives in the youth and in these communities around here in Anne Arundel County. So we can just ask you guys to reach out. Let's connect, let's network, let's talk about what we have coming up and do different things. You guys can always support us by donating and just getting involved. And we hope to do the same for you as well. So thank you again. Thank you for everybody for joining. And you guys have a great afternoon.
Thank you so much for your time and your comments as well. And yes, we must continue to support our youth and support each other and ensure that we're holding each other up. So like you said, together we can definitely do more.
Linda, I think it's Hattie, Penn, and then D Ward.
Okay. Hattie?
Thank you. We appreciate you guys and we thank you for all your accomplishments and what you plan to do. My question is, Why do you feel it is important to give back to your community? Anyone can answer.
I'll start. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Yes.
Okay. Again, I'm Alan and Griffin, and you guys see B&A Brothers on my screen. I purposely didn't put my name. I'm the A in the B&A Brothers. B&A Brothers Scholarship Fund started about 12 years ago with my brother and myself. We are fortunate enough to attend college. It was 6 of us, and we attended Morgan State University. We didn't have any other choice. It was very difficult during that time to get a college education, and we decided that we would start a scholarship fund to give back to our community to uplift other young men in the community. We're a little bit different because we look for the C students. We don't really look for the A and B because they'll get the scholarships. Well, we're looking for young men of color that would like to go to college and have some struggles. And I think it's important to give back to community because we were once there. You know, we were once there, and we wanted to give back to see other people succeed in their education field. I think it's important that we all give back. I say I'm proud of Harold Lord that's on the phone because he was a recipient of our scholarship fund from the Kappas. We give back because we want to see our legacy continue. I'm proud to say our first recipient of the B&A Brothers Scholarship Fund went to Anne Arundel Community College. He received another scholarship to get his undergrad degree. And this past week, he received his PhD in leadership organization. So that is a success story of someone starting from, his name is Irvin Moore Jr. We're so proud of Irvin because one of the things we want to say is that it's a continuous give back. So he's now giving back to the community by providing his skills and his skill set to young men of color. So we're proud that we can give back and actually see someone progressing in this world. And you know, when he first started at Anne Arundel Community College, just like, I don't know, I really wanted to go to the 4-year university, but we can see that from a community college to 2 weeks ago, he received his, he defended his dissertation, and he's now Dr. Irvin Moore Jr. And that started from just a little scholarship from B&A Brothers Scholarship Fund. So we congratulate him. And that's one of the reasons we want to give back so that we can see other young men continue in their education, in their career.
That is an amazing story.
Amazing. Alan, this is Claudia. I had to mute myself because I was in my office making noises when you said that. I got chills. So I'll go back to muting myself. I think.
Anyone else like to respond to that question?
Is Dave Jackson has his hand raised? Is he he's one of the recipients?
Okay, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, for having us. This is such a blessing for us to be here today. My stint comes from being around the world and being deployed through the United States Army and helping the oppressed around the world. And I've always said I wanted to bring that same energy back to my own community and reach down and start something small and you know, letting the kids of today see what we can bring back to our own community so the legacy will be passed down from generation to generation. We have to start in our own community and keep moving forward. And through our sororities and our fraternities, we've always, you know, kept that same energy going. So I just want to say that's, you know, that's what, you know, the need of reaching down and showing others that we can build our own community in a small spectrum to build something bigger from it. That's the goal that, you know, I'm trying to achieve, you know, volunteering and trying to help out.
Thank you for sharing. Is there anyone
Thank
else?
you.
And I also see Drake Smith.
No.
Would you like to answer that question as well?
Yes, I just wanted to respond quickly. That question made me think of, you know, scripture. Since it is Sunday, the book of Luke says, to whom much is given, much will be required. I think, you know, we just have a mandate to give back. At least for me, I have been blessed to go to ACPS for 12 years and been surrounded by a number of wonderful community leaders and teachers and just my family. And I just feel like I have to give back, right? They invested so much time and energy into me. And for me not to give back, it just would be selfish.
I definitely agree with that. Sorry, I thought I was on mute. So thank you, Drake. And yes, to whom much is given, much is required. So we definitely have the responsibility to give back not only to our families, but our overall communities as well. So thank you. Thank you so much for your time. I think we had a few more in the chat. D. Ward.
How you
Are you
doing?
able to? Oh, there you are. How are you?
I just wanted to piggyback. I'm pretty good, thank you. Off a few of the things that was spoken on earlier. Sorry about that. First, I wanted to thank Commissar Brown and Harold Molloy. They mentioned earlier we've been working together for almost a strong year with different projects, whether it's art, STEM, tutoring, mentorship. It's just really been a challenge during the pandemic, but to see so many people come together has definitely been an amazing feeling. That's how I've been able to give away so many things. Of course, I wasn't able to pay for a lot of it, but being able to collaborate with like Tunnel Vision and Superior Future and other people, to see them give away over 500 bikes and us to give away over 1,000 toys for Christmas. This work is only done by the support of the people. A lot of the times we just the face of the people really creating a platform for these things to happen. And because of that, I wanted to offer an opportunity to anybody that's watching a free chance to enter my class, which is a master class on teaching people how to start nonprofits, things like that, teach them scope of works, MOUs and things like that, so they can be the next generation to create a legacy for the following generation. And I definitely wanted to thank the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Annapolis chapter, because they have so much done so much work for my organization in the last 5 years. Starting off going to Flint, well, we donated over 1,000 cases of water to the residents in Flint, Michigan. They played a major part in those donations. Most recently, when we did a back to school drive, again, they donated a large amount of cases of waters for our youth and families that participated. So, you know, I grew up in Newtown 20, and it was hard for my family, but they stuck together and made sure that I had an opportunity to go to trade school. And it was people in my community that provided to me or for me and my family, so that they didn't have to go through the hardships for me to continue to chase my dream. So like Mo and other people said, it's not really about us as individuals, but the paths that's been created for us to follow and create more paths for the generations behind us. So you can check out our website at blackexcelprogram.com. There's a donation link on there. We got a big goal to really try to start a advanced learning program in Annapolis, where we have a building that we can teach kids that don't learn the traditional way, orthodox way of really still being able to be successful through entrepreneurship and things like that. So again, I'm just so grateful for this platform, for everybody that's been a part of my journey, that wants to be a part of my journey. Everybody on this platform that needs the support, I just ask that you go to our social media pages. We always crying out for help. And really reach out to us. You know, a lot of the times we do a lot of this work by ourselves, and we just represent so many other people. In 2021, really get behind us and support us and show us that you care about what we're trying to do, because we really gonna make change in this community, especially in Annapolis, since it's such a small city. So again, I love y'all. I'm grateful, and thank y'all for just giving us this opportunity.
Well, thank you so much, Deontay. You seem so humble, and that whole pay it forward. I think that's what we all need to do in order to make this successful. So thank you so much, and we will definitely reach out as we can. So again, if you all want to put something in the chat indicating how the community can reach out to you or interact with you on social media, please feel free to do so as well.
Okay,
So
Linda,
thank you so much.
I think it's Nas and then Carol. They have their hands raised.
Thank you. So, SOAR President.
Thank you. Thank you, Linda. Actually, Carol was before me, but I'll go on since you've already opened up my line. My question is for Adetola Ajay, and I would like to ask, you have been doing such great work in the mayor's office, and I know that you have been seeing a lot of issues, dealing with a lot of issues. So I wanted to ask, but what is one area that brings you the most passion, that has the most passion for you, that you'd like to see us, meaning the organizations represented on this premiere, collectively come together to address in the city of Annapolis that you think would just make a major breakthrough?
Greetings all, and thank y'all for this opportunity. I think one thing definitely would be education at Annapolis High School, and basically, focusing on revamping the structure of Annapolis High School and bringing in, Black teachers, Black professionals, people who've gone on to higher education or even started their own businesses. Not that everybody needs to go to college, but I just think the legacy of Wiley H. Bates is something that historically changed a lot of people's lives in this county for African Americans. My grandmother went there, but that was the only high school for African Americans prior to integration. So I just think that us African Americans being able to really play a huge part in our education is a very important thing. I'd like to see, more sororities like y'all and fraternities be involved in the city. And the mayor's office is definitely open to collaborations. So, thank you all again. And great question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that discussion. I think we have one more question in the chat. Carol Salisbury. Oh, we have another one. Carol and then LaToya.
Yes, I just want to congratulate all the recipients today. I was born and raised in Annapolis, and the community means a lot to me as well. So I thank you for all that you're doing in the community. There was a question in the chat by Shane Allen, and I don't think she had an opportunity to ask it. So I'll ask the question that she put in the chat. She wants to know what or how can our young people be involved in helping our community in COVID, and how can we be involved more virtually? And that question can be for anyone.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of things going on right now. You can reach out to me by email at blackexcelprgm@gmail.com. We actually looking for mentors. We have over 150 youth with only 30 mentors. So we haven't been able to really release some of our programs, which are virtual programs. So again, we have our mentor application on that website at blackexcelprogram.com, where you can download the application and email it to us. We'll do a background check, and then we'll do an evaluation with you to place you with one of our youth. This month right now, we've passed out, like they've spoken about, 75 STEM kits within our program, and we're continuing within this week. Next week or next month, we'll release our Black History STEM project, which I won't get into details. You have to follow us to hear about what we're doing. But we really need help when it comes to connecting with our youth, especially if you're young and you've been through this process, to help become a mentor to some of the people that look up to you is the most rewarding thing that you can do. And that's why a lot of us are on this platform right now receiving this award. So yeah, you can definitely reach out to me, Carmicel, Mo, Kyle, Tola. We are always looking for people to help us and support us.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So thank you all for putting your information in the chat as well, so everyone can see how to get in touch with you going forward. So thank you for that.
So we have two hands still. I think LaToya was next, and then Carmicel Brown.
So I see Drake Smith as well. So Drake and Carmicel, I'm not sure yeah, if they were wanting to answer this question. So Drake, if you are, you can definitely unmute yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. I just want to answer the question. I was how the youth can get
Sure.
And I would say, it starts and ends with the school system. I know now school can be a very challenging time for a lot of our students. I'm facing some of those
Mhm.
challenges as well. But there's a silver lining, if you would, to this whole virtual setting. It's easier to connect with people. I'm sure we're all super glad that we did not have to leave our homes and go somewhere in this snowstorm to be here today. Right?
That's
And I'm
right.
sure many of us are probably still in our pajama pants. But with the school, this has opened up many doors for students to get involved on a countywide basis with some of our countywide initiatives. I'll put them in the chat later. But if a student is interested in civil rights and just talking about justice, we have a program called Let's Talk Justice. And that's our initiative where students from middle school and high school can come together and just talk with each other, have these open and honest, candid conversations just about what they're experiencing. Because as we all know, it's a very hard time out there, especially if you're a young Black youth. And then also, if you just want to serve your community, we have this thing called AACPS Serves, and that's just the service learning program. And if you just want to get even more involved, we have the Chesapeake Regional Association of Student Councils, and that's just the countywide SGA for the county. So I will put all this information in the chat so you don't have to write it down. Please encourage your students to get involved on the countywide level, and please have them reach out to their principals or teachers, counselors for all the clubs there in their school. I know from Meade High School, where I go, this year I think we had a record number of clubs just because more students could do it because they had more times on their hands. We had, I think, 70 plus clubs offered to students, from things from like art, student government, jazz band, all kinds of wonderful opportunities. So if your students are interested in anything like that, just have them reach out to their school's principal and counselor, and they'll be more than happy to provide the club list. Oh, and then also, it not related to the school. I got my start with the NAACP, as you heard, and the Youth and College Division. They're in wonderful hands right now because Harold, he's actually the new president. So if you want your student to get involved with the NAACP, just have them join, and I can put that information in the chat as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that. I can see why you're in the position that you're in. Thank you so much for sharing that information. So, Comicel, did you want to chime in on this one as well?
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up on what D Ward and Earl Lloyd was saying about the initiatives that they have going on with COVID. And I really feel like these two brothers have been very creative and outgoing with creating programs and workshops for the kids, and then squeezing me in so I can be able to teach kids. I've been really focusing on the autistic and kids that really have been looking for an outlet to express themselves with the arts. I've really been noticing that during these times, kids are becoming very discouraged. The online learning is just becoming draining. And I like to create a fabulous and exciting way to do that with the arts in any creative way that I can. And even in the times when we can be outside and active with a minimum amount of people, I encourage you all to definitely send these kids our way. We're changing lives every day if we can. And also we have a lot of art projects coming up that I encourage you all to send kids our way to help with the murals. We have a lot of them coming up towards the spring and the summertime. And I would also challenge you all to just find one or two kids that you really can connect with and pick the one thing that they're really strong at and encourage them and find workshops and classes to push them towards, and also focus on the one thing that they're lacking in and help them find the resources and things to get them better at it. And that's what I would say will really help and push these kids to at least float and make it through this COVID and unprecedented times.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that information. Appreciate you sharing. So I think we have Latoya and then Dr. Daly to ask questions next.
Yes,
so Latoya,
thank you. Yes.
You're so welcome.
I felt really compelled because we have so many amazing men, young men and men who are doing amazing work in the community. And my question really is around families. fatherless families in particular. And I think that in our community, we're seeing great strides when it comes to attaining education. There's a lot of talk right now about wealth building, leaving a legacy, entrepreneurship, but I still see a major gap when it comes to fathers being involved. And I wanted to pose this question to you all because you are all great men doing amazing work. But I'm a mental health therapist, and I had 2 kids today, 2 young African-American children today. One told me that he feels like his father is a better stepfather to the children in his home than he is to him. Another little girl said she hadn't seen her father in months since he's gotten remarried and he has a new family. So there's a void there. You know, I experienced it myself growing up without a father, and we're still seeing that void playing out generation after generation. And my question is to you all is, what can we do to encourage strengthening our families, more fathers being involved? And I feel like you all would be the perfect people to ask, because I'm sure some of you are fathers and you're men. So, you know, Drake, you're probably going to go on and, you know, get married and have your own family one day. But how can we now close that gap? That the wealth gap is one gap, but the fatherless families, that's another huge gap.
I like to respond. Can respond? This is Alan.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
thank you. That is a wonderful question. And I chair a committee. I'm now on our regional level, we call it Providence level, the chairperson of our National Guide Right program. And one of the things that we have a challenge with, and let's be real, is the mental health component of this covert. And we right now are implementing a program which we call Cultivating Conversations. And it's basically having some real conversations with our young men. At this point, all of our young men, the survey that we receive, that they feel isolated. They feel, you know, there's no social interaction because they're not doing anything with groups. So we're addressing that gap by having these real conversations about where they are. How are you today? What are you feeling? You know, most of the parents are reaching out. It's like, I can't get them off the video. I can't get them off the gaming system. So we're reaching out to mental health professionals. I lead a team of mental health professionals right now of putting together workshops and Zoom workshops about how are we going to close that gap by having some real conversations about feelings, anxieties. If you look at the statistics and research, we now see an alarming rate of young people committing suicide during the covert. So, you know, that is an excellent question because we actually have to address it. Most of the young men that I have in my group, we have about 20, you know, have that feeling of isolation, feeling alone, not having a father figure. But most of the parents, they're busy too. So you don't have that conversation with someone right in the same home with you, not talking about their feelings, you know, go play your video games, you know, not having those real conversations. So at this point, we want to have some real talk about having mental health checkups. We call them checkups. We're going to check up on them. How are you feeling today? How was your week? Things of that nature. So that was an excellent question. I'd like to connect with you because you're in the mental health field about maybe speaking to some of our sessions. Okay, temperature checks. What was your week like? And things of that nature, because we can't really rely on the social media and them playing video games to address this mental health issue. So that was an excellent question.
It sure was, and we definitely have a problem in our community. So thanks to you all for helping to try to solve that. So Dr. Daly, I think you're next.
I am next. Okay. We have, today when I look at all of the legislators we have, I think we have a real need for legislators with good, strong moral conscience. And I just wonder, we have some strong men here today that you're honoring. I wonder if any of them thought, I know we have an alderman here, thought about going on further in terms of the political world. And I'm really looking straight in Drake's face right now too, because in your position on the Board of Education and also being with the NAACP, that is an excellent pipeline for you. But I'm also looking at all of the men on here because they seem like such strong men with great character. And I'm not so sure I'm seeing all of that great character in Washington today, but there are other levels that you can move in, you know, the county level, the state level, and also to the national level. I don't know, where are you? Any aspirations, any thought about it? Or are you mentoring anybody or looking at anybody in terms of helping good political people to get to a higher position? Now I will mute.
Okay, Drake's in the chat to answer that question for you, Dr. Daly.
Ooh, thank you,
Drake?
Thank you, Dr. Daly, for that question and the kind compliment. I would say, my goals right now is really just go to college, and probably major in political science, and then we'll see what happens after that. But in the meantime, I will definitely stay involved with my local community and on the national level. Being the student of the Board of Education has allowed me to build those relationships with a number of my delegates and senators, Delegate Mark Chang, Delegate Mike Rogers, Sandy Bartlett, Delegate Shanika Henson. And I've also had the opportunity to meet Congressman Anthony Brown, Ruppersberger, and Sarbanes. So I will definitely try and stay involved. And who knows, maybe Drake for president, 2056. I expect all your votes, just like they strolled to the polls this year, do it in 2056. How about that?
Well, you're majoring in political science. That's a good foundation there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But my question—
You got my vote.
Yeah, my question was for all of them because they seem like such strong men.
I could
Is
chime
there
in.
anyone else? Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I'll be honest, people like Dee and other community people who respect what I do, they always play around and say that I could run for office. Being with Leadership Anne Arundel, we recently had Government Day where we had the pleasure of meeting the mayor, county executive, and a host of others like Shanika Henson, and really just engaging and seeing what it was all about. And after hearing that, I would say I'm definitely more optimistic about taking that approach. But until I make that decision, we are holding city officials accountable for what they're doing. We are actively partnering with them to make sure that they're doing the right things and giving them creative ideas to help strengthen our community. So definitely in my eyes, I'm definitely thinking about it in my near future as I continue doing my community work.
Wonderful. Wonderful. We'll be looking for you, Commissar. Anyone else want to add into this discussion?
Adetola.
Hi, Adetola.
How you doing? I personally would like to work in politics, but I wouldn't per se run me personally. But I definitely would love to support any actions, initiatives to get more African-American, particularly African-American males engaged in politics, and our African-American women, and just getting more African-American young people involved in the understanding of how the system works in politics. And I just want to say something to LaToya to add on to what Alan was saying, that definitely I think we need a lot more mental health resources in African-American community, particularly with men, because I know there's a lot of talk about the fatherless men, but there's a lot of fatherless women. I think need therapy, and particularly around children and youth. I think that we need as a African-American community to focus more on rebuilding families, with African-American community members. Like the old saying, takes a village. But I think reconciliation practices and things like that are things that are needed, particularly with broken families. Once the father or the mother is on a path to trying to better the relationship with the other parent and the co-parent relationship, there might be some learned behaviors that they may need to let go of because of trauma they experience in their upbringing, that they might not even be aware of. So I think mental health, like Alan said, is very important that we address in our community, particularly around raising young children and single parent families. So thank you.
Thank you so much for participating in the discussion as well. Are there any other questions? Last call. We're going to move on to acknowledgements, but I want to make sure that we have been able to ask all of our questions of our wonderful awardees. They have provided so much to this discussion. And thank you so much again for sharing all of yourselves with the community, but especially with us this afternoon. We really appreciate you, as well as Asia and any other scholars that may have joined us today. So again, we thank you for your time and attendance. We will close the discussion section of the program at this time and move on to acknowledgement. So thank you, and everybody have a great day.
Good evening. Last but not least, we want to acknowledge everyone who helped to make the program a success. First, with our esteemed president, Naz Afi, the Fall Activity Committee chairs, Claudia Postel, Joan Conway. Spring Activity Committee chairs, Linda Babb, Tawana Holland. Scholarship Committee co-chairs, Loretta Miller, Alva Shelper Johnson. Our committee members, Fall Activity, Scholarship, and Spring Activity. Our financial team was Linda Boyd and Nadine Forgini. The Annapolis Alumni Delta Foundation, Shirley Perry as president. The Delta Research and Educational Foundation, better known as DREF, and our direct marketing team, Linda Babb, myself, Pam Dudley, and Claudia Postel.
Okay, so for our publicity and marketing, we want to thank Quaisha Balcom, Tiffany Cobb, Stacy Dims-Barrett, Tracia Dedman, Cassandra Melton, Arena Seymour. Our program committee, Linda Babb, Lasita Bowman, Quaisha Balcom, Sonora Clark, Pamela Dudley, myself, Claudia Postel, Rosemarie Thompson, and then our program designer is Quaisha Backham. And I do want to just take a moment of privilege and really thank Quaisha for her efforts. When we started this endeavor, we were thinking, we had thought about a way to showcase the work and the scholars and the donors. But Quaisha, as they said earlier, she's one of the newer members to the organization, to our chapter, and she came up with the idea for the platform. She presented the platform to the chapter, which we accepted. But I have to say it went a lot further than we ever thought of at the beginning of this process. So Quaisha, raise your hand just so we can acknowledge your gifts, because they have been absolutely amazing. And she has the patience of Job too, because we were changing a lot of things. So thanks again for that, Quaisha. As far as the curation, we had a team who did the curations for the videos: Marquita Adger, Quaisha Backham, Cheryl Lightsey, Monica McCoy. Community Award Committee, Tamla Bias, Sonora Clark, Sonia Johnson, Hattie Penn. They actually came up with the concept for the Legacy of Leadership Awards, which we thought was just really awesome. Then we have our Technology Committee, Marquita Adger, Latanya Edmond, Yolanda Edwards, Tracy Morgan, Joanne Scipio, Veronica Williams. If we omitted anybody, it was not our intent, and we hope we got everybody. And we just want to thank everyone for your work. This was truly what you call a collaborative effort. We reached out to so many people, and everyone just answered the call. So for those of us who have worked with the chapter a long time, this was a learning experience. And we really appreciate the opportunity to present it, but it was really, I was thinking this morning, we call it the experience, we call it the experience. We could have called it the something else that talks about just how do you do this. So we were able to figure it out. So thank you all for joining us today. I will now turn it over to our President Afi, for closing remarks.
Thank you, Stephen Postel. I just want to acknowledge, I'm not sure if we have other Maryland chapter presidents on the line, but I would like to acknowledge Dr. Sean Ashworth. Sean, wherever you are in your window, wave. Thank you for being here with us today. That group of Delta women are just phenomenal, and we are all about some sisterhood. So thanks for supporting us as we try to support others as well. And I'm not going to say much of anything except for congratulations to all of our leaders. Congratulations to our scholar recipients who came back. And I am going to turn this over to our past national president, Dr. Thelma T. Daly, to leave us as she always does with some pearls of inspiration and wisdom to close us out. Closing remarks, Dr. Daly.
You know that you think I'm always ready, don't you, really? Well, I just want to say that I wasn't sure I could stay on, but I think I've been energized by staying on. First of all, for the preparation that has gone into this, the creativity that has gone into this total program. And then for all of the recipients who have been honored today, I mean, stellar recipients. I think everybody should feel good from down within all the way up, you know. I would just like for all of you, for the men on here too, to take your right hand and put it over your left hand and just hug yourselves and rock, because we have all done a good job and we should all feel good together. And when I look at, you said it was an experience, and I recall when somebody asked the chapter about legacy, what would you like for your legacy to be? And coming to my mind is a quote from Kierkegaard, who said that history is made going forward, but it's understood looking backwards. So right now you may not know what your legacy is, because you're making your legacy without even realizing it. But later, when someone looks back at it, then you can understand what you've done to build up your legacy. My only words would be congratulations on, it used to be said, the best small chapter, something like that they used to say about our chapter in terms, we're no longer that small, but it is one of the best chapters in the, not only the Eastern region, because I see a lot of them, but it is one of the best chapters in all of the 7 regions of Delta Sigma Theta. And I want to say this to each of you. Don't feel that it's because our little Annapolis chapter. No, 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 it is not that. Do you understand that? And you are offering more than many others are offering. And I want you to feel the power of what you're doing and what you're offering. And although I'm not there all the time with you because I have to whatever else, you understand that part, but I want you to know the quality of sorors that we have in the chapter, and the intellect of the sorors in the chapter, and the commitment of the sorors in the chapter, the creativity, the whole idea of all of the power, but being humble, and your outreach to the community, not only Annapolis, but to the total community, because I'm a local girl, I'm a Anne Arundel County girl, so but your outreach is tremendous. So my only thing to you is to say, just feel your power, but with your power, keep it embraced in humility. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Daly, and thanks again for being with us. We'll cherish and hold on to those words. Everyone be safe, and thank you to the awesome women of Annapolis Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta, Sorority Incorporated. You are awesome. Thank you so much, and thank you.
So, President, everyone will get the video this later on this evening.
Thank you. And to all those that were our legacy awardees, you will get your plaque delivered at some time, maybe if we don't get too much more snow this week or by the end of the week. And we thank you all for joining us today. Thank you, Dr. Daly.
Thank you.
Be safe.